What's up, guys? Hybrid Mongoose here. In today's video, we are going to talk about a subject that may get me some hate. You may agree with me, but today's video is, are resellers ruining the retro gaming hobby? Let's get right into it. As you guys know, I love retro gaming. That's why I have a video that literally says why I love retro gaming. Retro gaming is something I almost play more retro games than I do even modern games nowadays, and I've kind of fallen down that rabbit hole, and I'm absolutely in love with the retro games of the past. Also, I do resell to fund my own hobby when it comes to video games, consoles, or even action figures. Me and my wife like to go, we call it hunting, but we like to go to garage sales every weekend pretty much, and we like to, buy and sell things and flip them for a profit if we can find it. My wife more so focuses on like shoes, clothing, things like that, as where I'm more looking at the video games, consoles, action figures, and all of that stuff. So we've been reselling for almost 2 years now, part-time, and it's been very nice to find deals, keep what consoles I want, sell what consoles I don't, and kind of keep that going, and it really helps to fund the hobby very quickly. I mean, you'd be surprised at the real cost of what I've spent down in my game room compared to what you would normally spend. A lot of the consoles that I got were found in like a bulk deal that I did with somebody, and they agreed, to a certain price. I bought it and kept the Jungle Green N64, kept that Super Nintendo that I ended up painting, then sold the rest, broke even, and then even made a profit. So I'm on the other side of it, where I'm kind of in the middle, because I don't do reselling like full time. I don't fully rely on it, but I see both sides of it, and there are channels out there that are dedicated to hating on reselling channels like Phoenix Resell or Cody with a K or whatever, and these people are, I don't even know how, like, their entire focus on making videos is literally like bashing other resellers. Like, don't you have anything better to do? And I also find it extremely weird that they would want to keep watching content from people that they hate, and they're just like hate watching, and then they'll cover a video of somebody and be like, look how greedy they are. And I'm just like, people are so concerned about what other people are doing with their own possessions or their own collections. Like, none of us are entitled to these YouTubers or resellers' collections. Like, we act like we have a say or what we should do with it. I mean, they bought the collection, or resold until they got whatever collection that they got, right? We have zero bearing on what they do with that. They can light those games on fire and dance around it. That's what I have we have zero say. Like, that's the part that's so weird to me, when people are like, I can't believe you sold your entire collection. It's like, that it has zero bearing on you. Also, I see both sides of it, because a lot of the times these people at flea markets and people that are doing trades or even at garage sales, they know that their items are worth more than what they're even selling them for, because they're trying to get them out of there. They're trying to sell them. A lot of people are trying to get rid of these things, and they don't care. So if someone's, trading $1,000 worth of retro games for a $500 PS5, who cares? That person probably just wanted to get rid of that stuff, didn't want it in their closet anymore. It was probably collecting dust, and who are you to say what they do with it, or what, how it goes, And a lot of the videos are using even the wrong language. They're like, oh, you got ripped off. It's like, you ripped that guy off. It's like, I didn't. Rip off is when something is overpriced, and you would say, wow, that's a rip off, it's not worth that much. When someone sells something for under what it's worth, that's not a ripoff. There's a, I don't know what word you would call that, but it's not a ripoff. Also, there is zero excuse nowadays to sell something for less than it's worth. If someone's gonna offer me at a garage sale or a flea market or whatever a deal, and a lot of times I'll even do bulk deals. I'll say, hey, what would it cost to buy all your video games? I've done that many times, and I've brokered a deal with somebody, and they knew they were getting less than what it's worth. They knew they were getting less. People act like these people don't know. It's like, oh, you took advantage of that guy. It's like, there's no moral ground to stand on here. This is just buying and selling stuff. Like, you're not obligated to tell the person that you owe them more money. You know, like, that's ridiculous. It's like going to a Best Buy and the TV's 90% off, and you're going, hey, I owe you more money because this is too low. It's like, no, you're gonna buy it because it's sold for that much. And again, we have cell phones. You can't see it, but my screen says we have cell phones. You have this thing in your pocket that can look up the prices of literally anything. You can't claim ignorance. You cannot claim anything. You could take 4 seconds and find out how much that, whatever that cost is. Like, there's no excuse now to sell things for less than they're worth. Like, and if you're going to do that, I'm going to buy it from you. You know, it doesn't, again, and there's so many other factors at play. Do you think these people don't know? These people do know. They know that they're getting less money. They know that they could get more money if they took it and sold it individually on eBay. They don't want to deal with the listing and selling and all that. They don't want to deal with that. You don't understand how badly people just want to get rid of junk, what they consider junk, in their own house. So to act like you're ripping people off when you're just making deals, these people, you see it all the time. They'll be like, oh, you ripped him off. It's like, no. The guy has internet on his phone that can answer any question that you want, including the price of things. If he didn't take the time to price it out and he just wanted to get rid of it and sold it, that's between the seller and the buyer. It has zero to do with you. He's not your cousin. He didn't rip off your brother. This has zero bearing on you. Like, I don't get how we're sitting here, people are sitting there on their moral high ground and going, oh, you ripped that guy off. It's like, what if he knew? You don't know the inner ins and outs of the story or anything like that. Like, and you may think, no way, he knew, blah, blah. You know how long it takes to list every single item out if you're going to try to get top dollar for something? You know, it takes a lot of time, and a lot of people don't want to spend the time to go and sell things on eBay. They don't want to spend the time to sit there and do that, you know? Also, you know, another thing that I've heard, which is hilarious too, and like you people care too much about what other people are doing with their own possessions. Like, we don't have an entitlement to what they do with their video game collection, you know? And at the end of the day, we're all hypocrites, right? All of us. I've seen many people that aren't resellers one day will be like, hey, I no longer like these PlayStation games. I no longer want to collect them. So now I'm going to take them to, you know, the local game store and get about 50% cash for it, or 60% credit at the store. Did you get ripped off because you accepted that deal? Like, you know what I mean? You willingly accepted the fact that you were going to get 50% value just because you wanted to get rid of it fast. And that's how these stores make money. You know what I mean? Like, you just resold just there, even if it was just for yourself, or you trade it to a friend or sell it to a friend. You know, it's like, we're all resellers at the end of the day. If you've sold a collection of games, you've resold. So to act like reselling is the devil is ridiculous.
Don't you remember what your mama told you about
reselling?
I remember, Mama.
I don't ever want you to associate
reselling.
Why not, Mama?
Because
reselling
are the devil.
I've also seen people say that when people have large collections of games that they're hoarders, that they hoard games and there's no way that they'd be able to play that. And it's like, yeah, that would make sense if we were in communist Russia or something. Like we have no bearing on what his collection is. Like to say he's hoarding is ridiculous. He doesn't owe. What, should he just hand out games for free to people walking down the street? Hey, I have too many games, I can't play this, take it. It's like, no, he bought that collection himself. He can do whatever he wants, include let it collect dust on a shelf. So, not to get into a huge tangent about this, because what I see online is completely ridiculous. Like, Phoenix Resale does not deserve the sheer amount of hate that he has been getting. And also, on top of that, he has resale in the name of his channel. And then you guys are like, I can't believe you sold those games. He's got resell in the name of his channel. I know he got a lot of flack for like the GameCube Gambit or whatever it was called, and you know, it's like it's his games, you know, like he can do whatever he wants with it. Like, I don't get how we think we have this entitlement thing where we get to choose what they do with it. It's like, you don't know the ins and outs of stuff. And what if he needed to get a new roof and he was like, I better sell. I got a leaky roof. I got to sell half these GameCube games to pay for the roof. You have no clue. He doesn't need to divulge that information to you. Would that now suddenly be okay? Like people are mad that these people are mad that these YouTubers are collecting collections, large collections, and then selling them. It's like, you have no idea if that person has a room with a bigger collection and he's just making the collection for the YouTube channel. You have no idea. So to act like, oh, he sold the games, he doesn't care about gaming. It's like, what if he has a room full of games? You guys are assuming so much off of like very little information. So let's get to the good side of reselling, because I feel like I've just been like defending the points of what's wrong this entire time. And I'm using a lot of hand gestures. So the good of reselling. And if you want to do it yourself, I don't see anything wrong with this. Like I said, there's nothing morally wrong with buying something for what someone is selling it for. To act like you're just going to be burning in hell is hilarious. I can't believe you would do that. It's like, I have no obligation to tell this person. I mean, obviously, if it was a ridiculous price, I would then say, hey, I'm going to give you more money, which a lot of people do. Someone will say, hey, give me 40, you know, and then the other person will be like, I'll give you 60. Here, thanks. It's still not worth $60. Some people just feel like they want to give a little extra because the price that they're selling it for is so far off. But like I was saying, back to the video, or back to the good side of reselling. I resell part-time, right? So I'm the one who goes out and finds these deals. It's not like they just fall out of the sky. A lot of people say reselling is dead. Video game hunting is dead. It's not dead. It's completely not dead. I've gotten some of my best scores ever have been from garage sales, and just by sheerly asking, like the garage. I always ask, even if I don't see any garage, you know, like games out. I always ask. I go, hey, yeah, you wouldn't happen to have any old like retro games, or you know, Game Boy, Nintendo, any old action figures, you know, like G.I. Joe, Star Wars, Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, things like that. I'm always looking for stuff like that to resell. And to keep as well. I collect this stuff as well. So I know what it's like to find something that you really want for a good price. It's a great feeling. So I'm the one that goes out there and does all the work. And the same with these YouTubers that are going out there, driving around, finding the marketplace listing for the trade, or even just randomly going around garage sales and finding these deals. We are the ones putting the time and effort to find the deals themselves. Okay? So we are entitled to the benefits of that. Just flat out. You have no idea how much time it takes. You know, I've been out for 4 hours, and it's 4 or 5 hours on a Saturday, and then like randomly found a pot of gold, you know, found a great deal out of nowhere. And that happens all the time. But I have fun with the hunting aspect and the garage sale hunting just in general. I don't need if I don't see video games, I'm not going to get all sad, is what I'm saying. I'll flip anything. I have flipped VCRs. I have flipped old electronics. I found an old vintage toolbox before and sold that. I mean, you never know what you're gonna find and what you're gonna learn about. So like, that's the fun to me, is like, it's not just, of course it's a bonus if I find the video games, but it's not all about that. So I've sitting there, spent how many hours? Countless hours, right? Going out, driving with my own gas, picking up all this stuff, sourcing it, and then I list a lot of it on the Facebook Marketplace. So when someone comes to me and they're actually a collector and they're trying to buy stuff, I always give them a huge deal off. I give them a huge percentage off, or I just, not a huge percentage, but I usually give them a good deal, right? And it does make me happy that I may not necessarily care about this item, but someone does. And I'm helping them find that item, you know, just by listing it on the marketplace. Like, these things would have never ended up somewhere. They would have ended up, I mean, a lot of the things I'm buying were sitting in an attic, were sitting in a box, sitting in the closet. You know what I mean? I've literally fixed so many Nintendo consoles and then resold those as well. You know what I mean? So it's like, I'm putting the video game in the hand, or the console in the hands of the people that want it. And if it weren't for me, they would just end up still sitting broken in a closet. So I do have great, you know, like, it makes me feel good that I'm helping getting these items out to the people that actually want to play them, rather than them sitting in a closet collecting dust. And like I said, anytime it's a collector, I always give them a percentage off, even though I don't have to or whatever. I'm always giving, you know, like 10% off, 20% off. If they buy a lot from me, I usually give even more. For instance, someone actually came by and picked up $180 worth of Star Wars toys for their daughter's birthday. And I discounted it about $30 and threw in some free stuff, just because I knew it was their birthday and they were spending that much money. So that person, like, that's better than any toy store they would have gone to. That's better deal than anything they would have seen. So, like, that makes me happy. And the mom was so happy that I was giving a bunch of stuff for free as well. I was like, here, take this. I know it's her birthday, you know, have fun, you know, enjoy your day. And she was like so happy and appreciative that I, like, not only gave them a good deal on all these vintage 1990s Star Wars toys, but also gave them free stuff just because it was their birthday, you know. And yeah, maybe I'm not like every other reseller out there, right? Like, I'm always trying to give good deals, and I also collect the stuff myself, so I know what it's like. But to just like blanket statement like everyone is reselling, or the fact that you do resell is just inherently evil, is completely wrong. I feel like I'm one of the good guys in this space, at least, and that I'm actually trying to help, you know, people get the things that they want. Okay, so sorry, that was a very long rant. Very long rant, very, very long conversation here, but I you know, I just feel like I have to defend some of what's going on online. It seems to be like, let's dogpile on the resellers, or the resellers are scum. I mean, I know a lot of the Pixel Game Squad and all them, it's kind of a running joke that, oh yeah, scumbag reseller, ha ha ha, all this other stuff. It's like, at the end of the day, we're all resellers. If you've ever sold your collection of games to somebody, you've resold. If you ever traded games in to GameStop, you've resold your games. There's nothing wrong with it. Why are we acting like it's wrong? Like, it's ridiculous. And again, you buying something off of somebody for what they're selling it for, you act like that's a crime. It doesn't matter if it's worth more than what they're selling it for. Someone's gonna buy it for that price. Someone's gonna trade for that price, and it could be you. Like, why are you like, again, we have cell phones. We have a cell phone, right? You can't see it, but because my green screen's taken it. We have cell phones. We can look up any price that exists. There's no reason to not sell things for lower than what they're worth, unless you're just trying to get rid of it, like I said. So anyway, guys, that's just my thoughts on the whole reselling hobby in terms of the retro gaming space. I think a lot of people are getting the idea of it wrong. I think a lot of people are hypocrites and they do it themselves. They just don't do it on the scale that, like, say, I do it, or Phoenix Resell or whatever. And you think that they got a good deal, that, you know, or a good collection. I feel like a lot of it's jealousy, to be honest with you. I think 90% of it's jealousy, and you guys are jealous that they're finding the deals. It's like, you're not putting in any effort to go do it. You could do exactly the same thing. Like, yeah, you're gonna just say it's wrong rather than actually go out and put any effort to actually do it yourself. So anyway, that is gonna do it for the video. Sorry, this one's so long-winded. But yeah, let me know what you guys think in the comments down below, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Later.